Hey guys, very good morning, Fabio here. Hope you all had an amazing weekend. So, saw some bearishness on Friday last week, beautiful bearishness from the dollar index. So let's see if we can continue with this bearishness and reach my zone. So with that said, let's dive in and see what is next. To begin with, of course, the dollar index. So the dollar index reversed beautifully from that 93.19 level, which I gave out to absolute perfection last week. Diving in towards the lower time frame, what we can see is that we actually saw a beautiful fake out on this swing high. So what we know is that the stop losses got swiped. After that, once liquidity was grabbed, we saw that dump in towards the downside. So after that, we saw that big fat red candle, the consolidation, and then the continuation. So this could be kind of the same situation as we had over there after that big fat red candle, just some consolidation before then heading down lower. So what I am expecting is that I want to see the dollar index hit approximately 92.277, and from there I will be starting to look and see what kind of pattern we're going to be forming and what the market is telling me in regards to where we are going to be heading next. So for now, still bearish on the dollar index. However, let's see how we react to 92.277, because from there we could start seeing some more upside once again. That is also in line with this bullish trend line which we have over here. So if we do respect this trend line and we do respect the zone that I drew in over here, we could and still see more upside. This is kind of the crucial point on the dollar index for me, from where I want to see a break, retest, and then continuation, of course, or we're going to see that push back up. And once we then take out this high, I will become bullish on the dollar index. But for now, it's still bearish as we just rejected this high, created a nice double top, plus a fake out, of course. So yeah, that's the dollar index for you guys. Let's head over to Aussie dollar. So Aussie dollar, yeah, retraced beautifully back up in towards the highs, of course, with that dollar index bearishness. Yeah, as I know, or as I told you guys, we were of course looking for shorts on the break retest of this trend line and the 618 and the zone. So we reacted beautifully from that, pushed back down in towards lows. However, then of course pushed back up. But yeah, as you guys can see, pretty consolidative price action, but the price action is ascending, which essentially is of course a sign of bearishness to come, especially if you view it as an impulse from here to here, trendline break retest, and this is just the price action within the overall correction from that impulse towards the downside. So Aussie dollar is looking good to push down lower. And what I'm going to be looking for is 0.73037 to get hit. And from there, I want to see if we're going to form this reversal pattern back up in towards the highs, or if we're going to see yet another ascending correction, which is going to tell me, okay, we're going to start breaking through this zone. So yep, that is Aussie dollar for you guys. Let's head over to Euro dollar. So yeah, Euro dollar, of course, still in that long, alongside that bearishness on the dollar index, we of course got that beautiful bullishness on the Euro dollar. As you guys know, in the community on Discord, we were discussing to take a long once this trendline broke. So yeah, as you guys can see, beautiful impulse ever since. Was then looking for a scale in on the fake out of this swing low over here. However, we just missed it. Sad enough, so yeah, no skill in, but still beautiful position, of course, running I think at about 5% or so. And yeah, so what is next for Euro dollar? Well, Euro dollar is most likely going to reject from the same level as the dollar index. So once the dollar index reaches that area of demand and that third trendline touch, Euro dollar will most likely also hit that third trendline touch and an area of supply. And as you guys know from the document that I shared in the Discord community, supply means price down. So what I want to see is how price reacts to that level, and from there I may start looking for some shorts. So why am I looking for shorts from there? Well, we have quite some confluence, to be honest. First of all, we have a fib over here. Just going to quickly draw it in, and as you can see, we have the 618 fib alongside the minus 1.618 fib extension from the original move, alongside an area of supply, alongside the third trendline touch on the daily. So quite some confluences for a bearish move from here, 1.183 to be exact. So let's see what happens when we reach that level. I'm very curious to see what will happen from there. So yeah, that's kind of it. We could see a retracement further down lower today. So this is your impulse 1, then another impulse pullback, and then like this. So for the people who trade Elliott wave, it's kind of like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would also mean that we potentially get this channel formation like this. And then we of course can sell the third trendline touch. So yeah, lots of confluences for shorts possibly from here. So let's see what happens once we reach that level. So that said, let's head over to pound dollar. And pound dollar. So pound dollar looking pretty beautiful in my opinion. As we can see, you of course saw that bullish move due to the US dollar bearishness on Friday. However, it's looking very good for some longs in the near future. As we can see, the price action is just beautifully descending and corrective. So descending corrective price action is of course a sign of potential bullishness to come at a certain point in time. Currently we're just stuck within this channel, to be honest. Quickly just draw in this trend line over here. Yeah, this is just a channel where we're stuck in. I would still expect some further downside today before moving up. So I want to see us hit this area of demand or this lower area of demand, which would be even more beautiful. So big fan of us hitting this area of lower demand from 1.36747. Looking at the daily, that would be the 786 fib. The demand zone above would be the 618. However, less of a fan of that demand zone above, as we have already touched it over here. And the more times we touch an area of supply of demand, the weaker it will get. So therefore, bigger fan of this lower zone over here. So that's kind of it for pound dollar, because the intraday price action is very messy. Just going to skip that. So with that said, let's head over to our last pair, which is Kiwi dollar. And Kiwi dollar is pretty messy, to be honest. As we can see, we're just kind of stuck in this overall range. Looking at Kiwi dollar on the intraday, however, we are seeing some clean impulses and pullbacks going in towards the 1 hour. First of all, of course, what we have over here is essentially a nice 786 fib retracement. But yeah, the bearish trend isn't really there because this 1 hour low hasn't taken out this low over here. So what we have is of course an equal low, and therefore the trend is not necessarily bearish. But looking at the daily is also not really telling me that much, to be honest. Only if we do start crashing down lower, we will see then a new lower low, right? Because this is the current low, this is the current high. So essentially, this is your impulse up, pull back down, and then you're expecting a new impulse up. So you could say that the daily is bullish, but looking at the 4 hour, I do prefer a bearish setup, because essentially what we had over here was this, right? So what you essentially had over here was this trendline break and this third trendline rejection. That's why we saw the impulse back down in towards lows from here. However, this is a very typical retail trader setup. And there aren't really any smart money setups in this specific situation over here. And therefore, I am just going to be skipping Kiwi dollar. We did see was, of course, this beautiful rally base rally zone. Came back in towards the zone, then pushed back up as I discussed last week. So yeah, really beautiful to see that we did react to this rally base rally zone. But yeah, for now, not really anything on Kiwi dollar, to be honest. We could see some more downside as expected because of the dollar index pushing up higher. So I'll be waiting for some cleaner setups on Kiwi dollar to form, then I'll definitely share them with you guys. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions whatsoever, make sure to ask me through Discord or in the description down below, or in the comment section down below, of course. Gold will be dropped on Discord, so make sure to join our Discord server. And I wish you all a very pleasant and amazing day. Thanks, guys.